Hi, Rion. Thank you for joining me today. Can you introduce DRDGold's story, its purpose, and the reason behind what the company does?
Thank you very much, Tracy. Yes, DRDGold has a very rich history. As you know, it's the longest continuously listed company on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. So it was listed in 1895. Obviously, that time in the 1890s when gold mining started in the Johannesburg area. It's a wonderful story in that it was part of the history of Gauteng, Egoli, literally the place of gold, as Joburg was effectively built on gold. So part of that story when it all began, obviously involved in underground mining throughout its history. And then the story now that almost after 130 years of the company's existence, that it is still around, but with a different business model. And as I said, Johannesburg was built on gold, but in its place is all kinds of other economies and industries, and the gold mining industry is only a smaller part of that. But we're still involved, because someone may look at Joburg and say, but what was left of that 130 years of legacy is the scar tissue, the environmental scar tissue of tailings dams scattered all across the Johannesburg landscape. And that's our business model, and that's our purpose, to reverse that environmental legacy of mining.
And what did you achieve by attending this year's Mining Indaba?
Tracy, yeah, with every year's event and with all the events surrounding it as well, we always want a platform to tell this amazing story. And I always say when ESG, or environmental, social and governance aspects, became more and more topical over the last couple of years, I believe our model was built for ESG, in that essentially what we do is environmental cleanup. And through that, we empower communities that lived very close to those sites to have a better life.
What sets your company and its services apart from its competition?
Tracy, I believe it's the uniqueness of that model, which I will elaborate on just now. And maybe it's the fact that we do that exclusively. And we've done so for almost the last 15 years, in that we're really honing our skills to treat large volumes of material, and then at a almost nano recovery level, because we recover just over 200 parts per billion of what we process. But to build systems and information, and to look at data in a proactive way, to make sure that everything stays stable. And I don't think anyone in the world is doing that exclusively.
And how are you navigating the challenges brought about by the current economic climate?
Tracy, yes, I think we're not isolated from that. To some extent, we benefit from high gold prices in that uncertain climate. Unfortunately, with wars in the world, lots of uncertainty, high debt levels, high inflation. But at the same time, we try and proactively manage our costs as best we can in that context, because that's the part that we control. On the gold revenue or price side, we're fully exposed. And I think that's the model that our shareholders like. So the bit that we can control is costs. And then, one of the big areas over the last years through the global climate that has been impacted is supply chain. And that will become more and more important for us as we manage big capital projects.
Can you tell us about your recent successes and how DRDGold is actioning and realizing its ESG goals?
Thanks, Tracy. Yes, so a big success for us, and we want to show that project in detail to everyone once it's commissioned, is our solar project at Ergo, that we're constructing a 60 megawatt solar plant, together with a 160 megawatt battery backup facility. And what's beautiful about that is not only the cost certainty that it creates over a long term as we operate and execute our life of mine, But at the same time, that delivers into our green gold story. As I've mentioned, we take waste and reprocess that. So our gold production does not create any additional waste. We try and always use as much recycled water in our process as we can. And we've managed to achieve potable water reduction of up to 60% over the last decade. And we'll continue to work on that. And then now with solar energy, also produce gold using green power. So it really delivers into that green ESG model of ours. So that's a huge success story for me on the Ergo side of our business. And then for both businesses, we're building massive expansion. For example, at the Far West operation, we're planning a facility of 800 million tons, the regional tailings storage facility that we want to construct. And that will create, as I said, the realization of this vision